I say he was. I like Robson Groom, but I prefer the geezer that's in Game of Thrones. Jerome Flynn.
Is Jerome Flynn in Game of Thrones?
Jerome Flynn's in Game of Thrones, mate.
No way.
Seriously, he's been in it from the very beginning.
Seriously?
Yeah.
Crazy times.
There you go.
Aaron's under-14s team, they headed over to Hertfordshire to play in the Five Counties Cup against St Albans Centurions. A week is certainly a long time in rugby league, Aaron says, as the Eels went from their worst performance of the season to their best, putting the Centurions to the sword, 28 points to 4, with tries from Gray and Smith, who both had a bagged a double, and Strange and Raffle.
Strange and Raffle. They could be a detective. That sounds like a detective show from the 70s. Strange and Raffle. Down. Strange and Raffle.
The under-15s were also away playing against the Bromley Bengals from South London. That's I've not heard the Bromley Bengals mentioned before, so we're broadening our horizons. Who were one place above the Eels in the league in second place. Another tight game saw the Eels draw level on the last play of the game. Then Horsman slotted the conversion to win the game. Thrilling stuff. Bromley Bengals 26, Brentwood Eels 28.
Go on, Horsman.
The Eels Open Age boys, or men, were the only team at home this week, playing a cup game against the Southend Spartans. They bounced back from last week's defeat to win 28-22, so fantastic week all round for our Brentwood Eels boys, coming out on top in 4 close competitive games. Huge game for the under-13s next week, though, when they play against the Invicta Panthers, who they sit at the top of the league with, level on points. Whoever wins this game will win the League Leaders' Shield and go straight into the semi-finals of the playoffs with a home tie.
Massive game for the boys.
Yeah, let's hope you're...
If you're in the Brentwood area, get behind the Eels.
Are they at home or away?
Against the Invicta Panthers. They might be away. If you're in the Invicta area,
it doesn't tell us either way. But if you're down,
where's
down
Invicta?
Around,
where are they based?
They're based in Kent, aren't they? I think.
Right. Okay.
Somewhere in Kent.
Fantastic.
But
good luck to the boys.
But yeah, so good luck to Holding, Robson, Groom, Gilmore, and the lads.
Absolutely fantastic. Right, that's the world of rugby league. Well and truly covered. Let's take a look into the future now as we bring you our predictions for the quarter-finals of the Challenge Cup. Right, so it's the Challenge Cup this weekend, Mark, and we see the quarter-finals roll into town. We start on Thursday night as Huddersfield take on Wakefield. This is one of the trickier ones to pick for me, just because both teams are so consistently inconsistent. But I'm going for a home win. I'm going for a close game. I'm going for a Huddersfield win by 20 points to 16.
Are we on top of what the weather will be like?
It's meant to be a relatively rainy weekend, from what I understand.
What?
That's what I looked at, yeah. It's nicer on Sunday, I think. This week, generally, it's meant to be a bit dodgy Monday, Tuesday, then brightens up Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, rainy, sunshine and showers, and then nicer on Sunday.
That's a shame. But
is there a lot of rugby league being played in Ambleside, is there, Mark?
No.
Right.
So then
you are at a wedding, so of course we want there to be good weather.
Thursday night looks like decent weather, though, doesn't it? I know I'm not in the right place at the moment, but Thursday night looks like reasonable weather.
Yeah.
Reasonable weather makes me think that Huddersfield will take it, because when they played crap weather the other week, it was all about the slogging it out, and Wakefield have sort of been more used to winning recently, maybe have a little bit of better spirit going on with that. But I think if the weather's decent and fairly placid and dry, I'm going to go with Huddersfield.
There you go.
They've got more skilled players in their side.
Okay, Friday night sees Warrington take on Widnes.
28-20 is my score.
Sorry, do apologise. Yes, 28-20. This week, so Friday then sees Warrington take on Widnes in the second quarter-final of the weekend. This was probably the easy one to pick for me. Widnes are so patchy, it's unbelievable, and I think Warrington at home, I know it's a derby game, but I think they should have enough to see off the Vikings. I've gone for a 30 points to 14 victory in favour of the Wire.
Maybe this should be a new feature, doing the weather forecast as well whilst looking in advance.
Yeah, but it's 5 days in advance. How accurate is
that?
Yeah,
but we're picking the results 5 days in advance, not know what the teams are going to be as well. So how accurate is that?
Yeah, I'll give you that.
We stick our necks out on that. Anyway, it looks like possible for a little shower just before kick-off time. But
no, not slippery balls again at the fucking IOL Jones with a lacquer.
Low temperature and It's got that cloud sunshine rain thing.
Bit of zip on the ground though. If it's been moist, bit of zip on the ground. Kicking game is going to be important.
Yeah, so it should be okay. I would suggest Warrington will just batter them anyway because Widnes haven't, whilst they've been putting a full team out, haven't been playing well. They have risen in recent years to play against Warrington, so hopefully that'll happen to make it more of a spectacle.
Yeah.
36 points to 10 though is how I'm predicting the scoreline to go in favour of the home side.
There you are. The one that I'm looking forward to most this weekend sees Hull FC take on the Catalan Dragons over at the KCOM Stadium. Again, I'm plumping for Hull FC. They deserve to be top of the league. I think they could very well end up picking up silverware this season, and I fancy that the Challenge Cup will be where they do it. I'm going for a 26 points to 12 win over a plucky Catalan side, but a lot of travelling involved for Catalan and a lot of young and experienced players coming into that side, and as well as they're doing and learning, I just don't think they're going to have enough to beat Catalan in a one-off game. To beat Hull in a one-off game. Birds. What's the weather doing in Hull on Saturday afternoon, Mark?
Let's have a look what the predictions are. So sunshine.
Did you have this queued up already? You're finding it really quickly.
No, I'm just not inept.
Right, fair. Oh, it's like that, is it?
So this game kicks off sort of lunchtime.
Better watch Love Island. Fuck you.
This kicks off lunchtime, so it looks like it's going to be sunshine, bit of cloud, light winds. So
we can't make this a permanent part of the fucking
degrees.
Come on.
But I would say Hull FC will win in that. What I hope is a tight, tense one that's following on from the games we've seen between a cable with less drop ball that we've seen between the other top four sides that have faced off recently. Wigan against Hull was quite close until Hull scored a late sort of spell. But the Catalans against Warrington game was close. The Hull against Warrington game was close. I'm hoping for that sort of scenario here.
Yeah.
So what I'm going with is 24 points to 22, but in favour of Hull FC because I do think they just have the edge. And they're at home.
There you go. Okay, so the final game of the round sees Wigan take on Castleford in their first game at the DW Stadium for what feels like about 6 years, Mark. And in the spirit of using new ways and methods to predict the games, I happen to know that Sean Wayne is a Taurus, and this week, as a Taurus myself, I know that we've been warned against complacency in the workplace as Mars rises into our fourth quarter and Uranus is ascending. So knowing that and keeping that in mind, I'm going for a 28 points to 18 victory in favour of the Cherry and Whites. Plus, they're probably missing Luke Gale, and you boys seem to be able to grind out wins here, there, and everywhere at the minute. So, yeah, there you go.
We'll have a few players coming back in that missed out last week. I'm not sure exactly how many, but we will have a few players coming back in that missed out last week. I will always tip us. The new pitch looks glorious. I'm not sure what much of a factor that'll have on proceedings, though. It looks like it could be.
What's the weather like?
They haven't got a clue because it's one of them black clouds with rain and the sunshine as well, so they don't really know. But it looks like the wind picks up a little bit more on Saturday afternoon, so maybe that will bring in some harsher weather with it in the Wigan area. I won't unfortunately be there to watch it. I will be dealing with whatever weather conditions throw up my kilt in a wedding I'm at. But yes, I'm going to go Wigan 20 points to 10. I just think we've shown quite a little bit of resilience, toughness, game management, and even if we do have some injury problems, we've shown there's a squad there that probably has a little bit more capacity to fill in for each other than we've seen elsewhere in the league this year.
There you go. Oh, hey, you're missing Club Day again.
Yeah,
you're never at Club Day anymore, are you?
No,
this is Mr. Club Day.
This is like 3 years in a row.
Mark, it's all changed, man. They have strippers now and everything. You need to come back.
I don't see strippers anymore. I'm married.
Oh, of course not. Well, why on earth would you want to? Okay, Championship game of the week then, Mark. What have you picked out for us?
Well, it was tough this week because the top two are facing off.
No, hang on. I want to hear you talk about the weather at Oddsall as well, because let's see what your fancy tablet has to say about that. Shall I talk about my thoughts whilst you do that? I'm sorry to put you on the spot there.
No, I was going to say it was a tough game to pick game of the week because whilst we've had some weeks where there's nothing to pick, we've had other weeks where there's loads, and this week is one of those loads because the top two face off. But to be completely honest, no matter how that result goes, by the end of the weekend, there's a good chance both of those two will
be the top two.
Breathe pretty easily. Whereas current third against current fourth, who are only separated by 1 point. they play as well. Bradford against Halifax.
Yeah.
This is a more significant game, I would say. So is it on Sunday you're playing?
I would agree. Yes, it is. It's on Sunday afternoon.
We get to a longer range forecast here, so we only get two different distinctions: daytime and nighttime. And
to be fair, also the weather can be different, like over 100 yards. So
fairly low winds coming in off the tops.
Okay.
17 degrees
Celsius. Right, thank God, because if it were Fahrenheit, we'd be in trouble.
Well, exactly. Would be in Minnesota in January.
There you go. Okay, right. I worry. I mean, at least we'll have had a week to rest and recuperate from our 3 games in 1 week endeavours. But honestly, I can't remember the last time we beat Halifax, Mark. They are very much up for this game, and we, in recent years, don't seem to be able to find a way to get up to match their intensity, and they're a very, very well-coached side. I'm not going to pick against my boys. I'm going to go for a 21 points to 20 victory in favour of the Bulls, but I am far from confident.
Something's got to click at some point for the Bulls.
They've just won 3 in a row. Things are clicking.
No, they're not, though, are they? That's the thing.
No, they're not. But
they won 3 in a row, but they lost to Dewsbury, didn't they?
Yeah, then we beat...
Oh, this week, all 3 games.
Just won 3 games.
Yeah, you're right, yeah.
Right, okay.
I forgot the midweek game. Something's got to click at some point, I think, in terms of this. You're bringing in more players, more creative and more attacking weapons, which is probably what Bradford did need.
Yeah.
They've not really suffered too much in terms of toughness and resilience when you've got people like Sidlow in your side who could probably still play at Super League level comfortably, I would argue.
Paul Clough had a blinder yesterday and he's returned from injury as well.
Well, that's good news for you as well in the front row, and I just think all these factors put together mean that you're going to edge Halifax out. Probably, let's call it, I'd say an 8 to 10 point victory for your boys.
There you go. Okay, and League One game of the week then.
Well, this didn't have too many obvious choices in this division. We plumped for the London Scholars against Doncaster because there's relative closeness in these two teams in the league table. Let's just cover off.
Come on, let's go for the full house. Tell us the weather in London.
I'm not onto that stage yet. The Scholars are a couple of places behind Doncaster, but a win in this game would have them level on points with the Dons. So actually, from that point of view, these two sides are fairly closely matched this year, and at home London have been able to beat a couple of the northern clubs, so I'm going to go with Doncaster to win. Okay,
there you go. Makes perfect sense.
I think this will be a game where both teams score in the high 20s of points, and I think it's a coin toss, to be perfectly honest, the way the teams are playing.
Okay, there you go. Perhaps the biggest game of the week, though, is down...
Oh, we haven't done the weather forecast, Tom.
Oh, sorry, yeah, what's the weather like in... this can't be a thing. What's the weather like in London on Sunday, Mark? Actually, for our southern listeners, this is a bit of a service as well that we're offering.
So on Saturday, is this game going to be on Saturday or Sunday?
Presume it's Sunday.
Well, Sunday, 21 degrees.
Oh, balmy!
Sunshine breaking out of the clouds in the daytime. At night time, a bit cloudier, but still 14 degrees if you wanted to enjoy a little bit of time after the game.
Who doesn't want a bit
around the city?
Who doesn't want a bit of that?
There you go.
There you go. Fantastic. Best weather of the weekend down in the capital. Right. No need to worry about the weather down under, Mark, in Brisbane this Wednesday. Although it seems like you're going to. I'm trying to stop you from doing this. It's Origin 2, Mark. It's the Brisbane round. Queensland are at home against New South Wales and winning the series 1-0 at the minute. And I personally don't see any reason why Queensland won't get the job done in game 2. I think it'll be close affair. They tend to be recently. They're a bit more defence focused, aren't they? Plus New South Wales are also missing Boy Courtney. I think it's probably one of their better players in game 1. There's been one of their better New South Walian players most of the season, and I think they were hoping to get Wade Graham in, but he was a naughty boy the week before, so he's banned. So things have pretty much stayed as they are for New South Wales. I just don't think they're as good as Queensland. Plus 8 QRD.
Queensland are missing Nate Miles, but it's a Nate Miles probably on the back end of his most effective period.
Yeah.
It will be raining most of the day in Brisbane, but by the time kickoff comes, it'll be the rain should have abated. It'll be around about 14 or 15 degrees. There will be a very moderate westerly wind, but it looks like it should be set fine for the actual game. Visibility will be very good.
Will it?
Humidity will be at 87% though, so quite relatively stifling there.
Stanford, it's 16 degrees. The Aussies are going to be wearing shirts and coats and scarves, aren't they?
Air pressure is at 1015.